splanchnic. Okay.
Greater.
And they go
Lesser.
greater,
Lesser.
lesser, and least. Okay. Foregut, midgut, hindgut. Good.
Do we need to know like the T?
No, you can just tell me the name. You don't have to tell me the numbers that comes off of your spinal cord. What is this little piece of mesentery here? Falciform ligament. This here.
Greater omentum.
What's up? Thin cell and stuff. It's mesenteries. Okay. It's hanging off of what structure? The greater curvature of the stomach and these arteries associated right there.
Left gastric.
Not gastric. But close. Gastroepiploic. Left, right.
50-50 chance.
Both.
Sorry.
The anastomose in there. Okay. You go to the top, the lesser curvature of the stomach. What's associated with lesser curvature of the stomach? The lesser omentum. And what's the name of the artery that's flowing through there? Which gastric? Left and right gastric brings to the gastrics. Okay. Left and right gastric arteries. They also anastomose there. What is this region of the stomach called? This would be the curvature. This is whole main region. So you guys' list of terms for stomach. Rugate's inside. This is just the body. Okay. At the very bottom, what we call the bottom region.
Pyloric.
The pyloric region or pylorus. This very top region for the esophagus. Cardiac region. This little bubble at the top. This is your fundus. Okay. This is also the fundus of your
Really?
bladder. It's that little top part of the bubble.
I
Yeah.
was pegging that to be something
You
else.
have a fundus of your uterus as well. You guys will go over that. If you go to nursing school, whenever someone has a baby, they always tell you to massage their fundus. You just put your fist on them and you just rub their stomach.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
It stops the bleeding. It stops the bleeding. Or when they give someone a baby, they tell them to hold the baby because it puts pressure on the fundus and it's supposed to stop bleeding. That's the real reason you give a mother the baby afterwards, not because it's their baby, but
Not because it's the
they're
nice
trying to
thing
save
to
it. Yeah, not because it's the right thing to do, because they're trying to save it. And then same thing, once they start breastfeeding, it uses to help stop bleeding. But yeah, it's not because we really want them to have the baby. They could care too shits. Doctors. Yeah, they don't care. Okay, what is this brown organ here? Spleen. What is this right here?
Pancreas.
The pancreas. What is this right here? Still pancreas. Okay. Remember the pancreas is going here and going here. It looks exact, so you can see the color of the tissue. It's smacked up against the duodenum. Exactly, it's smacked right up against the duodenum. You'll see that in all your pictures, but for a human, it kind of looks like a bicycle seat or so. Okay, it's just not continuous for the cat. But keep that in mind. If I ask you a question where I'm pinning here or here, that you know two things: is it touching the duodenum or is it touching the pancreas? I will make sure that it's obvious. If I say just identify. If I just identify the green pin, I'll make sure it's obvious. If not, I'll say identify this organ, I'll identify this region of the small intestine. I'll do something like that to make it obvious that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so duodenum's first. Is that part of the foregut, midgut, or hindgut? Foregut in general, but in reality it's half and half. What separates foregut and midgut? All the duodenum. What dumps into the duodenum right here?
That duct.
That duct.
Yeah.
The hepatopancreatic duct.
Yeah.
Hepatopancreatic.
Or Vater, or Vater of Ampulla.
Wait, what's the cystic?
Oh, yeah, Darth Vader.
Into the gallbladder.
Cisterna pylon?
The cystic duct.
It goes into the duodenum, does it?
It goes, not the cystic duct. The cystic duct dumps into the common bile duct dumps into the hepatopancreatic duct. So it's part, that duct system still comes down, but changes names each time.
So does the cystic duct and the common bile come together?
Yes.
And then they both
And they both go in together into the, they go into the hepatopancreatic duct. That's where they go to.
And what's
So that
what's
little
that?
duct is what separates where it enters foregut to gut.
What's the name of that juncture again? Would they come together?
Hepatopancreatic duct or hepatopancreatic Vater or ampulla of Vater.
Ampulla.
They're all
That's it.
interchangeable. Usually you see ampulla of Vater. That's usually what they use. All right. What is this mess right here?
Small.
Small intestine, what's included in here?
Small intestine.
Alien, if I want to ask you about these, I'm going to have to ask you something using this as a reference point at the beginning or using the back end as a reference point. Okay, so
Ilium is the bottom, right?
ilium's the last one, the first one,
Jejunum.
duodenum. So if I say something like identify this region of the small intestine, tell me duodenum, well, I'll say what region of the small intestine follows that.
Jejunum.
I mean jejunum. Okay? And I'll say what specific arteries supply blood to the jejunum,
Jejunals.
the jejunals. Okay? If you come back here, what is this region that I'm touching here?
The ilium.
Not ilium. Your descending colon. What's the last bit of the small intestine just before you hit the colon? The ilium. So I'll ask you something about this, and I'll ask you reference to what's before it.
So when you're gonna say specific, like
If I give you specific, one of the specific artery that gives blood to it, then I mean the last, or I'll say the last artery that supplies blood to this before hitting that organ.
instead of saying like superior mesenteric.
Yes. And if I want superior, inferior, or celiac trunk, I'm going to say the unpaired or the major artery that supplies blood to the region that this organ is contained in, including this organ. I'll let you know, because you'll know if I mean I want the big one or I want a specific one, but I don't want you to not know and miss points because you meant superior mesenteric artery, but you knew both.
I'm gonna have to go.
Okay,
home.
I will ask you very specifically,
The
so you
Wi-Fi
know which
here
one I'm
is
talking
slow
about.
today for some reason.
Okay, what is this region right where the ilium dumps in? So the ascending colon, but this region in particular is the cecum.
Cecum.
Okay, the cecum. Okay, there's not really an ascending colon that's that great on the cat. It's almost non-existent. I will not pin it and ask you to identify it. I'll usually say, this is the ascending colon, what comes after it? Or this is the ascending colon, what's the name of the region of the ascending colon where the ilium dumps in? Or the cecum. I'll use it as a reference so you know what I'm talking about because this is crap. Okay? This region definitely descending colon.
Sigmoid.
If this was your left colic flexure, what would be separating? What would be separated by this? Left colic flexure. What separates what?
Midgut.
Midgut and hindgut. Okay. What is this little organ right here?
Kidney.
Kidney. This right here.
Horns. I don't know. What is
The uterine horn. This is all uterine horn. Okay, your fallopian tube. We'll go over this when we get to urogenital, but it only wraps up and around the ovary and comes back to the uterus. In reality, if this was a human, your uterus would be in the very center, and your fallopian tube would only be like inches long. Okay. In the cat, the uterine horn is really long. The uterine horn is long, which makes sense why you can see a cat can give birth to 15 little kittens. Okay, there's little ones that can develop all along the side there. Okay, on both sides. So keep that in mind. This is not the ureter. People always say it's a ureter too. This one's a ureter right here. It looks like a nerve. Really small. Okay? No, there's two. One on both sides. So the other one's right here.
it? Ureter.
And it's going towards the bladder. If I pull on it, it pulls the bladder. Okay? Urinary bladder. This one right here. What is this?
Renal gland.
We don't call it renal, what do we call it? The adrenal. Yeah.
Adrenal.
Renal with ad added to it. Yeah, it's a little bitty peanut. The adrenal. Alright. What is this right here? Abdominal aorta, this here. Inferior vena cava. Again, this right here.
Ureters.
This here. This here. Bladder. This right here. This is all your descending colon. See how it curves again? Right where it curves, and it will snake in and back. That's where you get sigmoid. So it's right at this little turn. Okay, but everything down there is still descending. All right. Look at all these arteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How are you supposed to know which ones are the three that are the unpaired that we want to find? Okay. Don't count all the arteries. Look for those that are paired, those that are unpaired. Okay. This one, where's it going? To the fallopian tubes, to the ovaries. Okay, this is your gonadal artery. There's a right and there's a left. So we're not interested in these. These are your